In the 8th episode of Your Friends and Neighbors, we witness a tense confrontation that reveals significant power dynamics within the show's world. The scene begins innocuously enough with someone approaching Felix, who's casually watching a soccer game and comments that Ecuador is kicking our ass. But this everyday moment quickly transforms into something more sinister as we learn about a mysterious character named Chivo and a debt situation that carries heavy implications. The visitor arrives with money, stating directly, "That's everything Chivo owes you." This immediate introduction of debt suggests Chivo has been involved in some kind of arrangement with Felix, possibly illegal or at least questionable given the secretive handover. Felix takes his time examining the payment, a power move that establishes his position of authority in this relationship. His delayed response of, "That's good," carries a dismissive tone, as if he's doing Chivo a favor by accepting what's rightfully his. What makes this interaction particularly fascinating is how Felix immediately follows up with a passive-aggressive comment. "I didn't know housekeeping paid so well." This seemingly innocent observation carries a wealth of information about the social hierarchy at play. Felix is suggesting that whoever Chivo is, they work in housekeeping, a relatively low-wage profession, and shouldn't logically have access to the substantial amount of money being handed over. The implication is clear. The money likely comes from activities outside Chivo's legitimate employment. The person delivering the money responds with unexpected confidence. "I could put you on if you want." This retort suggests that whoever this messenger is, they have some agency in Chivo's employment situation, perhaps as a supervisor or manager. It also indicates they're not entirely intimidated by Felix, willing to push back against his condescension with a bit of their own. After an awkward pause, the messenger asks, "We good?" seeking confirmation that the debt is settled. Felix's response is particularly telling. "Till next time." With these 3 simple words, Felix establishes that this isn't a one-time transaction, but part of an ongoing arrangement. Chivo appears to be caught in a cycle of debt or obligation to Felix, suggesting some form of exploitation or control. The real twist comes when the messenger boldly declares, "No next time. Chivo doesn't work for you anymore." This statement escalates the tension dramatically and reveals several crucial pieces of information. First, the relationship between Chivo and Felix isn't merely that of debtor and creditor. Chivo has been working for Felix in some capacity. Second, this working relationship appears to be ending, initiated not by Felix, but by Chivo or someone representing Chivo's interests. Felix's reaction speaks volumes about his character and the nature of his relationship with Chivo. He's instantly offended, saying, "You hand me a bag of money, and you think you can talk to me like that?" His indignation suggests he views himself as untouchable, someone who doesn't just expect payment, but also deference and respect. The money alone isn't enough. He demands psychological submission as well. When a messenger responds with, "Please, Felix," we hear what might be a plea to de-escalate the situation. But Felix doubles down with perhaps the most revealing line of the scene. "I change your diapers." This statement transforms our understanding of the relationship completely. Felix isn't just some loan shark or employer. He has a long-standing, possibly familial connection to either the messenger or Chivo, or both. He's known them since infancy and is using this history as leverage to maintain control. Felix follows this revelation with a thinly veiled threat. "Be very careful how you talk to me." The messenger's response, "This is me being careful," suggests they're fully aware of Felix's capacity for retaliation, but are standing their ground nonetheless. The confrontation ends with Felix's parting shot, "Say hi to your mother." This seemingly innocuous farewell carries ominous undertones, possibly implying that Felix has means to reach the messenger's family if needed. So who exactly is Chivo in this complex web? While the subtitle excerpt doesn't explicitly tell us, we can piece together that Chivo is someone who works in housekeeping but has also been entangled in some arrangement with Felix. Possibly illegal activities, loan sharking, or some form of coerced labor. The name Chivo itself is interesting. In Spanish, it can mean goat, but is also used as slang in some countries to refer to someone who's been scapegoated or exploited. The debt being paid seems substantial enough to warrant an in-person delivery and serious conversation. Given Felix's reaction, it's not just about the money, but about the power and control he exercises over Chivo and possibly others in similar positions. The scene suggests that Chivo has found some way to break free from this arrangement, either through their own agency or with the help of the messenger, who delivers both the money and the news of Chivo's independence. This interaction reflects the episode's title. When did we become these people? Perfectly. Felix has evolved or devolved into someone who exploits others and uses his history with them as emotional leverage. The messenger has become someone brave enough to stand up to this intimidation. And Chivo, though unseen, has apparently transformed from someone under Felix's thumb to someone seeking freedom from that control. The scene masterfully establishes Felix as a key antagonist in the series, someone who uses a combination of financial leverage, shared history, and veiled threats to maintain his position of power. His casual mention of Ecuador losing a soccer game at the beginning now seems ironic. He's experiencing his own loss of control as Chivo slips from his grasp. Throughout the episode, this confrontation serves as a microcosm for the larger themes being explored. Just as the other characters are questioning how they've changed and who they've become, this scene forces us to consider Felix's evolution into an exploitative figure and Chivo's journey toward breaking free from that exploitation. The debt being paid to Felix isn't just financial. It represents the final severing of whatever hold Felix had over Chivo. The money is the physical manifestation of an emotional and psychological debt that's finally being settled, allowing Chivo to move forward. The messenger acts as Chivo's proxy in this liberation, facing Felix's intimidation tactics directly so that Chivo can make a clean break. This interaction enriches our understanding of the show's world, revealing that beneath the surface of everyday friendships and relationships lie deeper power struggles and personal histories that continue to shape how characters interact. Felix's controlling nature and the resistance he encounters from the messenger provide a compelling subplot that parallels the main character's journeys of self-discovery and transformation. As the episode progresses, we might see how this power dynamic between Felix and Chivo, and by extension, the messenger, reflects similar dynamics in the relationships between our main characters. Coop's efforts to reclaim what he's lost, Mel and Sam's conflict, and the revelations during the boys' night could all be viewed through the lens of power, control, and the struggle for independence. Themes so clearly established in this opening confrontation. The scene leaves us with numerous questions. What exactly was Chivo doing for Felix? How will Felix respond to this loss of control? What is the history between Felix and the messenger's family? These unresolved tensions create narrative momentum that propels the episode forward, making us eager to see how these dynamics will continue to unfold and potentially intersect with our main characters' stories. In the broader context of the series, this interaction suggests that Your Friends and Neighbors is exploring not just the evolution of friendships and romantic relationships, but also the more problematic power imbalances that can develop between people over time. Just as we might look at ourselves and wonder, when did we become these people? The show invites us to consider how easily relationships can transform from mutual and supportive to exploitative and controlling if we're not careful. This scene, though brief, adds remarkable depth to the episode's exploration of identity and transformation. It reminds us that change isn't always positive. Sometimes we become people we never intended to be, exercising control over others in ways we might not have imagined. And sometimes breaking free from those who control us is the most significant transformation of all.